Hey guys, it's your old pal Alice Cooper. Basically, this is Spooktacular. So you're gonna be seeing a bunch of horror movies that have a Halloween theme to it. Look for it all this month.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. The Dream Warriors. This is actually one of the best ones of the whole series. Utterly enjoyable. Great movie to watch. If you had to see one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, this is the one to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the story. Okay. Kristen Parker, a young girl, dreams herself in an abandoned house on Elm Street where she is chased by a serial killer, Freddy Krueger. Duh. She wakes up and goes to her bathroom where she was again tapped by Freddy, who slices her wrist with a straight razor. And let me go ahead and mention that there's this great music video, Dream Warriors. Nobody dreams no more with the Dream Warriors. Nobody dreams no more. And maybe tonight you'll be gone forever. Oh, good song, great song. One of the great best songs of the whole series, actually. So, believing her to be suicidal, her mother has her sent to Winston Hospital, which is a mental hospital, run by Dr. Neil Gordon, where she fights against the Orleys who will try to sedate her for fear of falling asleep. She is eventually calmed by intern therapist Nancy Thompson, the heroine from the first movie. Surprise, surprise, she didn't die. Who recites part of Freddy's nursery rhyme and earns her trust. Nancy is introduced to the rest of the patients: Philip, a habitual sleepwalker; Kincaid, a tough kid from the streets who is prone to violence; Jennifer, a hopeful television actress; Will, who is confined to a wheelchair after a suicide attempt; Taryn, a former drug addict; and Joey, who is too traumatized to speak. Later, Kristen is attacked by Freddy again, while willingly pulls Nancy into her dream, with her allowing them to both escape. Let me go ahead and mention this is actually one of the better parts of the movie. This is where Kristen is getting devoured by this giant Freddy head, and he's getting ready to swallow her whole, and Nancy comes in and stabs him in the eye, and he goes, "You." He recognizes Nancy right off the bat, and she goes, "Oh my God, run!" So there you go. So Kristen reveals that she has the ability to pull people into her dream. That's one of her dream powers since she was a little girl. Over the last two nights, Freddy throws Philip off a roof in what looks like a suicide attempt, and kills Jennifer by smashing her head into a television set that she was just watching. Now, this is actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Everybody knows this part. Where she's sitting there is a pretty blonde. She's sitting there in the front of the TV, and the Forrest Whitaker tells her that that's enough television for tonight, and she says, "No, I need to stay awake a little bit longer." And he says, "Okay, don't be up too late." So after a while, Freddy comes on the television, and finally his head pops out of the front of the off the top of the television set, and the antenna is on the top of his head, which is really cool, by the way. And then he says this, and he grabs her with both hands, picks her up, and puts her in front of the TV. And TV's on the wall, by the way, several feet above the air. And she goes, "This is it. This is it, Chris. Uh, you know." uh, what's her name? I forget her name already. Oh, Jennifer. This is your big break, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. And he freaking grabs her head and freaking shoves her head into the freaking television, electrocuting her to death. Cool scene, by the way. So anyway, yeah. In the next group session, Nancy reveals to the remaining patients that she was the last survivor of the parents who killed Freddie many years ago. Nancy and Neil encourage them to try group hypnosis so that they can experience a shared dream and discover their dream powers. In the dream, Joey wanders off and is captured by Frey, leaving him comatose in the real world. Incidentally, I want to mention that there's this great scene where Joey has this really beautiful nurse, and she takes off her outfit. You can see her tits. What can I tell you? And pretty girl, very pretty girl. And she says, do you like my body, Joey? So you're not going to tell anybody about this, are you? Of course not. Why would he? And she kisses him, and turns out it's freaking Freddy all along. And she goes, what's the matter, Joey? Tongue-tied? And then a freaking fire pit opens up below his bed, and well, there you go. Joey is now in comatose. Nancy and Neil are fired. Neil is informed by a nun, Sister Mary Helena, that Freddie is the son of a young nun who accidentally locked in a room with hundreds of mental patients, who is subsequently raped by her, who is subsequently raped repeatedly. And that is the only way to stop him is to lay the bones to rest. He and Nancy goes to the Father Dawn to discover where the bones are hidden, but is uncooperative. Nancy rushes back to the hospital after she hears Kristen has been sedated, while Neil convinces Thompson to help them. Nancy and the others again go, incidentally, her father. That's the one I was just talking about. Not Nancy. And he agrees to help. So Nancy and the others again go through the group hypnosis so they can reunite with Kristen. But they are separated after Freddie interrupts them. Taryn and Will are killed while Kristen, Nancy, and Kincaid and Joey find one another. Freddie senses that his remains have been found and possesses his own skeleton to kill Thompson and incapacitate Neil. He returns to attack the others, but Joey uses his dream power voice to send him away. Thompson appears before Nancy to tell her that he is crossing over, but is revealed to be Freddy in disguise, who stabs her. This is the part that really makes me mad. I hate that Nancy dies in this movie. Spoiler alert. And he is about to kill Tristan too. Nancy rises from behind and uses Frey's own claws to stab him. Neil awakens and consecrates the bones, finally destroying him. Nancy dies in Kristen's arms. At Nancy's funeral, Neil sees Mary Helena again. While she tries to follow her, he instead finds her tombstone, which is that of Amanda Kruger, Freddy's mother. So what can I tell you about this movie?
A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, is a visit by Bruce Campbell.
This is a thoroughly enjoyable movie. It is well worth the wait. It was actually a 3-year period between this one and Nightmare on Elm Street 2, so they had to wait a while for this one, but it was well worth the wait. Incidentally, Part 2 was made a year after Part 1, So go ahead and hit subscribe. But one thing I want to mention one more thing though, that the actual Blu-ray, you can find it for about $8 in select stores. So anyway, go watch more videos. Share and like, of course. Leave thumbs up to support the channel. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.